In a series of videos, we are learning HTTP client module. Currently, we are having a detailed look into HTTP protocol. In the previous video, we saw how HTTP protocol works end-to-end. We saw that the client sends a HTTP request to the server and the server responds back with a HTTP response. This is one of the HTTP requests we used in one of the previous video to get countries data from the server. In this video, we will have an overview about HTTP request and we will walk through the content of this HTTP request. This endpoint URL is what gets converted into this HTTP request. The hostname goes into this section of the HTTP request and its path goes into this section of the HTTP request. The first line of the HTTP request is called as a start line. The get defined in this line represents a HTTP method type, as we are going to get data from the server. Later, we will get to know about other method types apart from get. The next section is called as request target. Here we need to specify the URL of the target. As host is defined in the next line, it is sufficient to include only the path in the request target. The next section in the start line has the version of the HTTP protocol, which we have defined as 1.1. For a HTTP request, the start line is mandatory and we cannot send a request without this line. After the start line, there can be 0 or more headers. In our example, we have defined only one header. The header name is host and the header value contains the host name. Headers help to send specific details about the request to the server. We will be later using additional headers when sending form data to the server. After the headers, we should have a blank line followed by the body of the HTTP request message. In this request, there is no content defined for body, as there is no need to send data to the server. Later, we will be using the body section of HTTP request when sending form data. In summary, the HTTP request should have 3 sections: start line, headers, and body. The start line should contain the method type, request target, and HTTP version. Start line contains the mandatory details that needs to be present in the HTTP request. Headers are defined after the start line. Each header is defined with a header name and header value. Headers contain additional details about the HTTP request. After headers, body should be defined after a blank line. Body should contain the data that needs to be sent to the server. Hope the explanation provided in this video helps you understand the details about HTTP request. In the next video, we will look into HTTP response.